welcome David to this AOJ's Talk of the Show. David is the CEO of the Natural Diamond Council, which was earlier known as the Diamond Producer Association. So welcome, David, to this show. And my first question to you is, so you have recently gone for a rebranding from a Diamond Producer Association as a body now called as a Natural Diamond Council. So what was the idea and objective behind this change? Could you share your thoughts?
Yes, so I joined what was then the Diamond Producers Association back in December. I joined from really outside the industry. I'd spent 2 years with the Watches of Switzerland group in the US. And before that, I was 15 years with Ralph Lauren. So I'm an unusual thing in this industry, and that's someone who's come in from the outside. Obviously, coming in from the outside, my first role really was just to look at what we do, how we do it. Are we speaking to consumers in the right way? And really, with the support of the board and all of our leadership team, we really came to the conclusion that we need to, although the mission hasn't changed, that we really need to take a step forward in terms of how we present ourselves to a younger audience. The world of luxury has changed so much in the last decade. And to a certain extent, there's areas I think we would all admit where our industry hasn't moved forward as quickly. So we very early on in the process identified that we needed to create an inspiring vision for natural diamonds. To do that with a younger audience than previously we've been speaking to, and digital would play a major part in it. So all of those considerations kind of coming together very much put us on the path to say, okay, we need to present ourselves in a different way.
Right. So going forward, what are the various activities which are lined up from your Natural Diamond Council, both in B2B space and B2C space?
Yes, I mean, I think if I start with the B2C space, the big difference is that in the past we were an advertiser. We created campaigns, we advertised, we promoted our industry, and we will continue to do that. We will in the fourth quarter be coming out with a new advertising campaign. We haven't shot it yet because of the coronavirus restrictions, but we hope to do so in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But as well as that, it's so important in today's world to be very present on digital 365 days of the year. We know that people are buying jewelry every day of the year. So it's critically important to have that presence that we need there. So the biggest single change is that, as well as an advertiser, we wanted to be a publisher. And again, it was part of our process we went through to figure out who we are and what we want to be. But we're not a brand in the same way that we're not a product brand. We're not a retailer. So that gives us license to be a publisher. And by that, I mean, we can be publishing content every day of the year. We are brand and retailer agnostic. So we can have a true independent vision as to what's going on in the jewelry industry. Right. We can celebrate all of the amazing stories in the industry. As I said, I came in from outside, and I was blown away by the number of amazing stories about the product, about the collections, about innovation, about the values of our industry that didn't have a platform to be told on. So that is a huge change for us, because instead of thinking specifically in campaigns and seasonality, we are thinking 24/7, 365 days a year as to how we maximize our visibility to consumers in everything we do. And that's both at the very high end of what we call the shopping funnel, which is about driving the desirability, creating that dream. But also as consumers start to shop, start to want to be educated in how to buy, what to buy. So it's how do we show up there as well. So I'd say it's a pretty radical shift for us, because we've had to change everything that we do, the way we're thinking about everything has had to change. Nothing that we are doing now, we were doing 6 months ago. So we're very fortunate to have a great team that has been very open to change, excited by the change. and so that's been a significant difference for us. On the B2C side, we also on the platform have a very complete industry platform that's there, and on the site as well, and that is for both retailers. We have a lot of educational tools on the website. We have a lot of tools for marketing and marketing support. We have a press section where press can go to for all the assets. We have the section that we've always had on the Assure verification machinery. So yeah, we've been thinking of it both as a B2B and a B2C, and I hope when people get the chance to visit naturaldiamonds.com, then that they'll be excited by what they see.
Right. So what I understand is education is the key going forward to all your programs and your initiatives. All right. Natural diamond. Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say something. I mean, yes, education, but again, one big difference in education is we've always done a great job, I believe, with bricks and mortar stores. But we all know that the consumer is spending more time in the digital environment, both on retailer platforms and other platforms, to be educated. So one big area that we're looking to upgrade is how we ourselves and work with partners to really upgrade the digital part of the education, because that's, again, in pretty much every market of the world, our industry has been slower than our competitors to adopt into the digital space. And that's where, again, we believe we can really support this industry and move forward.
Right. Okay. Natural diamonds are, I think, what we all understand, ultimate symbol of love and luxury. In this period of COVID-19, this pandemic, right from the month of Feb, now we are almost in the June. What kind of an impact you have seen on the sales of diamonds, and what is the kind of the confidence level among the various supply chains of diamond, right from your mining to the manufacturers, to the wholesaler, to the retailers? What kind of a confidence level you are seeing right now?
It's a very, very difficult period, as we all know. This industry is going through a challenge like other industries that we probably haven't seen since the Great Depression. So we are all living through a very unique moment that has caused untold disruption. We have millions of people in our industry, excuse me, and they themselves have been impacted, their families have been impacted, the communities have been impacted. So it's a devastating crisis that we're in at the moment. Obviously, here in the US, we've got additional political crises which add to the challenges. So it's an incredibly tough time. Having said that, I do believe that we are looking forward. Now is a time to look forward with a bit of optimism. And even in us launching the Natural Diamond Council last week, we had a lot of discussions. Is it the right time to do this? We're presenting what we believe to be is a very optimistic outlook for the future. And we don't want to do that at a time when people are thinking, are they crazy? We're in this crisis and it's complete devastation. But there appears to be a bit of optimism. Obviously, retail sales in China are doing well now, and then they've recovered quickly. Even I look at a lot of analysis like Google search terms, and even during the month of May here in the US, there was year on year a big increase on people searching for diamond jewelry. So I think it's fair to say that the roots, the shoots are there to look at a recovery, but there's a significant path to go through in order to get there, because the challenges of the supply chain, the challenges of consumer health. So I'm always the biggest optimist in our industry. I'm really excited about the future and what diamonds stand for. I am just also cautious that of understanding and realizing just how big a crisis we're in at this point in time.
Right. So David, India is one of the largest and fastest growing market for diamonds. So going forward, what kind of a role this Natural Diamond Council will be playing to promote the diamond sales and diamond jewelry sales in India?
Yes, I mean, even though I've only been with the NDC, well, I was only with the NDC, I think, for 3 months before lockdown. So most of my time with this organisation has been doing what we are doing now, which is Zoom calls. So, but actually, during that first 3 months, I was fortunate that I was able to make 2 trips out to India and work with the team and meet many great people there. So I think it's a great market. I think it's a obviously gold is dominant in the marketplace, but I see a real opportunity for the Indian market. I think that for a number of reasons. I think culturally there is a very interesting dynamic amongst consumers of blending traditional cultures with new cultures, adopting some Western cultures, etc. And I think diamonds can play perfectly into that. Everything we stand for is both about individuality as well as tradition. So I think culturally and the consumer will, the trends that are happening there will be in our favor. We have a great team based out of Mumbai. We have great retail partners, and everything that we're doing in developing our content, developing educational tools, and generating a major campaign will be to work with the partners there and to realize the huge opportunity for us in India.
Wonderful. So David, my last question is, what is the kind of feedback you are getting from your partners on this rebranding of a Natural Diamond Council? What I personally feel, it is more direct. You can relate to the name, that it is a body for the specific reason for the natural diamonds. But I would like to hear from you. You speak to a spectrum of people across the globe. What is the initial feedback you have been receiving?
Well, to my face, it's been very, very generous and very kind. Obviously, I do ask people for honest feedback, and as long as it's constructive, we can always improve things. But certainly, all the feedback that I've seen, the press coverage, the personal messages have been incredibly supportive. And generally, I think the general message has been that there's a recognition of what needs to be done. And the very interesting thing coming into this industry is that we have a lot of issues, and we had a lot of issues before the current crisis. And we spend a lot of time talking about the issues, but actually what I found was everyone is very aware of what needs to be done, and they're in agreement what needs to be done, and that is to focus on the consumer. And because if consumer demand grows, many of the challenges in our industry go away. So we have a unique mission in that we are I think the only industry body that is specifically there to drive consumer demand. And so we have had a huge amount of support, not just kind words saying, we love the work, it looks great, but actually people saying to us, how can we partner with you? We agree with you that the consumer is what's going to pull us out of this crisis. How can we support you? How can we help you? How can we take what you're doing and doing it in our area? So I feel very inspired actually by the support, because I feel that the industry is aligned as to how to come out of this, and we hope to we hope we can take up everyone on their kind offers.
Right. And finally, any message for your partners and the diamond retailers and diamond industry in India specifically? Any message from you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, we're setting out on this mission. We have a very clear mission as to how we're going to do it and what we're going to do. Partner with us in any way that you want to, in any way that we can help, particularly those people that are speaking directly to the consumer. So retailers to press, to influencers. We're here to help. We're here to support. For everybody else, there are lots of great stories about what we do, how we do it. So the best way I can describe it is this industry, we are bigger than the sum of the parts. And if we all work together, we're all aligned around the same mission. We partner, we're transparent, and we focus on the end goal, which is to drive consumer demand. Then as I said, I'm very optimistic about this industry. I think it's a great industry. We have wonderful product, great collections. We've got to create the platform to speak to the consumer, and with that, I think we'll have we can look forward once we come out of this crisis to great times ahead of us.
Right. Great. Thank you. And one more last question, which I think I should ask you is, how about your budgets? How much do you plan to spend in promoting diamonds in, say, next quarter or a year? Any data, any numbers you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, we don't disclose the actual numbers, not least because we don't want media companies who we spend our money with to know what our budgets are. This industry is great at negotiation, and you don't show your hand when you're negotiating. What I would say is that we are somewhat fortuitously, because we were going to relaunch this month, we had already planned our investments down in the first half of the year. So in effect, we've held back all of our investment money from the first half, and we're going to spend it all in the second half. And the second thing is that I would say is that we are very pleased by the support of our members. Our members are also going through the same crisis along with everybody else.
Right.
They remain committed, and there's never been any discussion about cutting budgets to be able to do what we need to do. So they too are optimistic about the long-term future. They recognise to realise the goals in the long term, we have to continue to invest now. So I'm very, very fortunate to have a very supportive board, that both from a financial perspective and from a strategic perspective. So I think we can all believe in their support for both through this year and through to the future.
All right. Thanks a lot, David, and stay safe. That's all we have from here, Art of Jewelry.